Imagine stepping back in time to the year 1906, the twilight of the Edwardian era in the United Kingdom. It was a time of industrial strength, royal prestige, and numismatic craftsmanship that defined a generation. Among the coins struck during this golden age was a small, seemingly ordinary copper coin, the 1906 UK 1 penny. But don't be fooled by its modest size or appearance. This coin, now a collector's treasure, holds immense historical weight and a market value that can climb up to $2,100 in today's rare coin market. This coin carries more than just monetary value. It reflects an empire at its height. The obverse side of the 1906 penny features a portrait of King Edward VII, who reigned from 1901 to 1910. His profile, facing right, was designed by George William de Saules, and it portrays him with a majestic, yet realistic look, a slight mustache, and an imperial bearing, symbolizing strength and continuity after the long reign of Queen Victoria. The legend surrounding his head reads Edward V's 7-day Gra Brit OMN, Rex Fid, Def Ind, IMP, a Latin inscription that translates to Edward VII, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. This alone anchors the coin in a rich tapestry of royal history. Turning the coin over reveals the reverse side, where Britannia, the symbolic personification of Britain, is seated gracefully, facing right. She holds a trident in her left hand and a shield resting at her side, bearing the Union flag. The waves beneath her feet represent Britain's naval power, and the inscription 1 penny circles above her while the date 1906 rests below. This stunning imagery is not just art, it's patriotism cast in bronze. Compositionally, the coin is made of 95% copper, with the rest comprising tin and zinc. It weighs 9.4 grams, and its diameter is 30.8 millimeters, a substantial size for a coin of its class. These details give it a solid, weighty feel in the hand, which many collectors find appealing. Over a century of aging has often lent the surviving examples a deep brown or red patina, further enhancing their beauty and desirability. But what truly makes the 1906 UK 1 penny so valuable is not just its design or age, it's the rarity. Of uncirculated and well-preserved specimens, millions were struck. Yes, but very few survived the test of time in pristine condition. The vast majority were worn down through daily use in Edwardian Britain, passed through countless hands, and carried in coin purses, pockets, and tills across the empire. Today, finding a mint-state example is like uncovering a lost chapter of history. Collectors look for details. Sharpness of King Edward VII's beard and hair is the definition of Britannia's flowing robes, and the clarity of the date and lettering. Coins that exhibit strong strike original luster, and little to no wear, are the ones that can fetch up to $2,100 or more in auctions and private sales. In 2023, a top-graded 1906 UK 1 penny sold for just under $2,100, making headlines among coin collectors worldwide. That price is expected to climb even higher due to increasing global interest in British coinage from the early 20th century. Numismatists also appreciate the historical backdrop of the coin. The early 1900s were a transitional period. The British Empire was beginning to face challenges abroad, and technological innovation was rapidly changing society at home. Coins like this one are tangible reminders of that time, capturing the face of the king who governed a global empire in the imagery of national pride. Through Britannia, another factor that adds to the appeal is the variety of minting anomalies and die errors found in some 1906 pennies. Some rare pieces exhibit slight misalignments, doubling in lettering or off-center strikes. These error coins are even more desirable and can command premium prices well above the already high market value in recent years. Platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections have reported a surge in demand for Edwardian pennies, especially the 1906 issue. Collectors from the UK, the US, and even Australia, countries once part of the British Empire, compete fiercely for great examples. The coin is also often found in family heirlooms, buried treasure hunts, and estate sales, sparking a new wave of excitement every time one surfaces in near mint condition. It's important to note that the grading of the coin plays a crucial role in its valuation. A worn-down 1906 penny might only fetch a few dollars. But one graded MS-64 or higher by respected institutions like PCGS or NGC can leap into four-digit territory. That's why coin authentication and grading have become essential in verifying the authenticity and condition of this historical piece. Beyond numismatics, the 1906 UK 1 penny carries sentimental and educational value. Teachers use it to bring history lessons to life. Museums exhibit it as a symbol of British influence and colonial legacy. And for casual hobbyists, it represents the thrill of discovery. The idea that something so small can hold such great worth. To this day, the 1906 penny remains one of the most underrated coins in the rare coin community. Its value is steadily rising, and it has become a strong candidate for investment by smart collectors who understand the long-term potential of historically significant copper coins. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a new enthusiast, adding a top-quality 1906 UK 1 penny to your collection is not just a purchase, it's an acquisition of history. So next time you come across an old coin in your grandparents' drawer, take a closer look. If it's from 1906 and bears the face of Edward VII, you might just be holding a fortune up to $2,100 in your palm. And that, in the world of rare coins, is the magic we all chase. Next up, step into a world where heritage, tradition, and the twilight of a coin's long-standing history meet in the palm of your hand. The 1970 UK sixpence coin is more than just another piece of British currency. It represents the end of an era. Though its face value was once a mere 6 pennies, today, this humble coin has become a rare and sought-after collectible. With top-condition examples commanding up to $1,600 in the global numismatic market. To truly appreciate the value of the 1970 sixpence, we need to understand its historical importance. This coin marks the final year of the sixpence denomination as an active part of pre-decimal British currency. The sixpence had been in use for centuries, dating all the way back to the reign of Edward VI in the 1500s. Over the years, it became a beloved part of British culture, used in everything from wedding traditions to lucky charms, slipped into Christmas puddings. But all of that came to an end in 1971 when the UK transitioned to the decimal system, making the 1970 issue the last of its kind struck for traditional use. Now, here's where the rarity comes in. The 1970 sixpence was never released into general circulation. Instead, it was produced only as part of proof sets issued by the Royal Mint for collectors. That limited availability immediately set it apart from earlier sixpence coins. It also means that every 1970 sixpence still in existence has a special origin born not for everyday commerce, but as a piece of British history preserved for future generations. The design of the coin is a beautiful mix of botanical elegance and royal symbolism. The reverse side, designed by Kruger Gray, displays an intricate arrangement of 4 plants, each representing a country within the United Kingdom. The rose for England, the thistle for Scotland, the shamrock for Northern Ireland, and the leek for Wales. All 4 are crowned in the center by a Tudor crown, symbolizing unity under the British monarchy. The inscription reads Sixpence, along with the year 1970 bold, clear and classic. On the obverse, we find the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, engraved by Arnold Machin. This refined depiction of the young queen shows her wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, an image that became iconic not just in the UK but also across many Commonwealth nations. Surrounding the portrait is the Latin legend Elizabeth II DG Reg FD, meaning Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. In terms of technical specifications, the coin was struck in cupric nickel. It's consisting of 75% copper and 25% nickel. It has a diameter of 19.3 millimeters and weighs approximately 2.83 grams. The edge is smooth, and the strike quality for 1970 proof sets was exceptional, showcasing deep mirror-like fields and frosted devices. This makes well-preserved examples particularly attractive to modern collectors. But what truly propels this coin to a market value of $1,600 is the extreme rarity of pristine proof specimens that remain untouched and perfectly preserved over half a century later. Remember, proof coins are specially made using polished dies and planchades, struck multiple times to create a sharp, detailed image with superior finish. Only a limited number of these sets were ever made, and not all have survived the decades unscathed. Many collectors today hunt for high-grade examples, preferably graded PR67 or above by professional services like NGC or PCGS, coins with deep cameo contrast, meaning the frosted devices sharply stand out from the shiny fields, are especially valuable. In fact, it was one of these top-graded coins that fetched close to $1,600 at a private auction in early 2024, sparking renewed interest in British pre-decimal proof coinage. The 1970 Sixpence also holds symbolic value, reflects the closing chapter of old British coinage, as the country prepared for a new monetary system. For those who cherish history, this coin offers a physical connection to a turning point, a farewell to shillings, florins, and the age-old sixpence. The sense of finality and legacy it carries makes it a poetic addition to any collection. Unlike many coins that gain value due to metallic content like gold or silver, the 1970 Sixpence is prized purely for its historical significance, low mintage, and collector demand. It's a brilliant example of how even non-precious metal coins can reach sky-high values when all the right factors align. Rarity, condition, and cultural relevance are the key ingredients here, and this coin has them all. Collectors, worldwide, not just in Britain, seek out this piece. It's especially popular among coin enthusiasts in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, where Queen Elizabeth II's portrait coins hold cultural value and are deeply tied to national identity. The nostalgia combined with royal legacy and elegant design makes it appealing across generations. It's also worth noting that errors and varieties for this coin are virtually non-existent, which further increases the focus on condition. Since all 1970 sixpences were proof-only strikes, there's no room for minting mistakes or oddities that often drive value in circulated coins. Instead, value comes from surface perfection. No scratches, no haze, no fingerprints, just flawless, untouched brilliance. Many coin dealers now include the 1970 Sixpence in their lists of must-have British classics, often referred to as the last sixpence. It's a piece that every serious UK collector wants in their proof set, and it's becoming harder to find each year in high grades. As time passes, many of these coins will suffer environmental damage or be lost. Further tightening the supply and pushing prices higher, museums and educational institutions also treasure this coin as part of their monetary evolution exhibits, displaying it as the final breath of a once dominant currency system. For students, hobbyists, and investors alike, the 1970 Sixpence serves as both an artifact and an opportunity, a snapshot of a nation in transition. Captured forever in copper and nickel, with today's market shifting toward older, historically important coins with limited mintages, the 1970 Sixpence finds itself climbing the ladder of value. Online platforms such as eBay, Heritage Auctions, and BritishNumismatics.com routinely show bidding wars over top-graded examples. And while the general public may overlook its small size, true collectors understand this coin is a sleeping giant. So next time you come across an old proof set tucked away in a family heirloom, or spot a sixpence marked 1970 with that elegant portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, take a second look. You may just be holding one of the last sixpences ever made. A coin that's worth up to $1,600 and a piece of numismatic history with a story unlike any other. Next up, in the deep drawer of forgotten coins lies a silver-toned beauty from 1973 that once jingled casually in the pockets of millions of Britons, the 10 new pence coin. At first glance, it may seem like just another ordinary coin from the decimal era, but look closer, and you'll realize that the 1973 10 new pence is one of the hidden stars of British coinage, with top condition examples now fetching as much as $1,150. This coin's value lies not just in its metallic content, but in its historical context, design rarity, and its role in a currency system reborn. The year 1973 was a transformative time in British history. Britain had recently transitioned to decimal coinage in 1971, abandoning the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence. The new Pence series represented a modern era of currency, clean, logical, and in step with global monetary systems. Among them was the 10 new pence coins, large in diameter, made from cupronickel, and adorned with symbolism from Britain's heraldic past. The obverse of the coin features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by the acclaimed sculptor Arnold Machen. This iconic design shows the Queen facing right, wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a regal image that graced British and Commonwealth coinage for decades. The inscription encircling her portrait reads, Elizabeth II, D.G. Reg. F.D. 1973, standing for Elizabeth II. By the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Flip the coin, and the reverse design commands attention. The striking lion passing guardant, a proud symbol of the British monarchy. The lion, standing strong and alert, is taken directly from the crest of the royal arms of England, dating back to the 12th century. It's not just an image. It's a declaration of identity. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the reverse is sharp, bold, and nationalistic. Below the lion is the denomination New Pence 10, written in a crisp, modern typeface that emphasized the country's departure from the archaic pre-decimal system. But what makes this coin truly special in 2025 is not just its beauty or symbolism, its rarity and pristine condition. The 1973 10 new pence was struck in large numbers for circulation. Yes, but the majority of these coins were handled heavily, tossed in tills, exchanged daily, and over time worn smooth by use. Very few were stored safely away in mint condition. That's why uncirculated or proof specimens, especially those graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, are now considered rare and can sell for up to $1,150 on today's market. Adding to its appeal is the coin's impressive size and weight. The 1973 version of the 10 new pence was part of the original decimal series and is significantly larger than the 1OP coins in circulation today. It measures 28.5 millimeters in diameter and weighs 11.31 grams, making it one of the heftier modern UK coins. It has a strong presence in the hand and an equally strong place in the hearts of collectors who appreciate coins with solid substantial designs. What's more fascinating is that 1973 marked Britain's official entry into the European Economic Community (EEC), the precursor to the European Union. The coins minted during this period, especially ones that remained untouched by circulation, are often viewed as artifacts of a very specific moment in Britain's evolving identity. For collectors who value not just metal, but meaning, the 1973 10 new pence is as symbolic as it is beautiful. While it isn't made of silver or gold, the cupronickel composition, a mix of copper and nickel, gives it durability and a lustrous finish that, when preserved properly, looks almost proof-like. In fact, a small number of these coins were included in 1973 Royal Mint uncirculated sets, sealed in plastic presentation sleeves. These sets were often purchased by collectors or given as gifts, and today, they represent one of the best chances of finding this coin in gem condition. Online auctions and coin shows have seen a growing demand for early decimal coins, and the 1973 1OP is leading that trend. While most people overlook decimal coins, thinking they're too modern to be valuable, seasoned numismatists know that condition plus historical relevance equals future value. This coin checks both boxes. It's modern enough to feel familiar, but old enough to be rare, especially in untouched state. Grading agencies like NGC and PCGs report relatively low submission numbers for this particular year and denomination, making high-grade survivors even more exclusive. The coins that manage to achieve MS67 or higher are typically flawless, sharp edges, no contact marks, and full original mint luster. These are the coins that break four-digit price barriers and enter the elite class of decimal-era rarities. Another unique point: this was the last year the word new appeared on the coin alongside pence. By 1982, the UK removed the term new as the transition from old currency had fully settled. That makes the 1973 10p coin not only a representative of a bygone design, but also of a brief linguistic experiment in national coinage. This small detail adds historical quirk and collectability. What elevates this coin further is its lack of modern counterfeit risk, unlike older silver or gold coins. The 1973 10p doesn't attract forgers. That makes it safer for new collectors to buy and authenticate, provided the coin is slabbed or verified by a professional dealer. It's an entry point into coin collecting that is both accessible and rewarding. For educational institutions, the coin serves as a teaching tool, a tactile piece of economic history from the early 1970s. Schools often use it to explain decimalization, the monarchy's symbolic role in currency, and how inflation and size reduction shaped modern coinage. Museums display it in decimal-era exhibits, and private collectors pair it with other coins from the same period for historical set presentations. And many British families still find these coins in drawers, old piggy banks, or tucked into forgotten collections, unaware that a top-quality 1973 10p can now be worth well over $1,000. Some even discover unopened mint sets handed down from grandparents, turning family mementos into numismatic gold mines. In summary, the 1973 10 new pence coin is no longer just small change. It's a bold piece of British history, a coin that defined a transitional era, honored the monarchy, showcased brilliant design, and now enjoys a strong resurgence among serious collectors. With a potential market value of $1,150, it's living proof that sometimes the most overlooked coins are the ones with the greatest hidden worth. So, if you come across a gleaming 10p coin dated 1973, don't dismiss it as pocket change. Hold on to it, study it, grade it. You may just be holding a British collectible gem with a story to tell, and a value that continues to rise.